Replaced is a 2.5D action platformer dropping April 14 on PC and Xbox, and it will be on Game Pass from day one. You play as an AI consciousness that got forced into a human body and is now stuck in an alternate 1980s America that has been destroyed by nuclear disasters. There's this massive corporation called Phoenix Corporation doing shady human experiments, and you are one of their projects that managed to escape. The game's main hook is arguably the pixel art visual style itself, combined with the modern lighting effects. It creates this incredibly strong cyberpunk atmosphere that, in my eyes, is definitely the game's standout feature. So you are controlling R.E.A.H, an AI that crash-landed in the worst part of Phoenix City. The city is divided by a huge wall, separating the people who matter from the ones who don't, and you ended up on the wrong side. This is an area called the Dumps. The story focuses here on uncovering what Phoenix Corporation is actually doing, while you are simultaneously trying to figure out how to act human. R.E.A.H is supposed to be awkward at understanding emotions and behavior, which also drives the narrative itself, about what makes someone human, versus just a machine mimicking one. The gameplay here essentially breaks into three main areas. There's platforming that has you jumping across gaps, climbing ledges, and swinging from bars. The movement here is deliberately weighted, so it's not exactly about precise timing like harder platformers, but more about maintaining your flow through the environment. The level design tries to look like actual industrial zones. The combat itself is pretty aggressive and fast-paced. You're bouncing between enemies with the free flow counter system, shading melee attacks while dodging incoming hits. There's a pistol called the Huxley that builds up charges as you land attacks, and once this is full you can drop someone instantly. Their design pushes you to stay aggressive, because hanging back or dodging too much drains the charge. It's a decent system for keeping the momentum. Later you also unlock a mechanical pickaxe that deals heavy damage, and can also break through armored enemies. This one also has another use, as it lets you climb certain walls to reach new areas. Your Huxley gets upgrades as well. For example, you can deflect bullets back at shooters. The third piece is exploration, where you're walking through the city hub area, talking to people, and picking up lore about how everything went wrong. You can make dialogue choices in conversations with NPCs, but how much these actually matter is unclear to me at this moment. Stealth sections show up where you're hiding behind cover, to avoid guards or mixing into crowds. There are also hacking minigames for things like controlling traffic lights, but these look pretty simple. The game switches between these different gameplay styles to change up the pacing, but whether that feels natural or interrupts the flow is a bit hard to tell without playing through the whole thing. The world building does get very detailed with readable documents, explaining how nuclear disasters collapsed society, and how the Phoenix Corporation filled the power vacuum. There are these enemies called Termites, basically violent scavengers living in abandoned mines. The game and its characters treat them as barely human anymore, which once again connects to the larger themes about dehumanization and who gets to be considered a person. The corporation also does bioengineering work, transplanting organs and replacing body parts, which gives some extra meaning to the title Replaced. A full playthrough is intended to take around 8 hours for the main story, or up to 12 hours if you do the side quests. This is a pretty substantial amount for this type of game. The real test, of course, is whether the story payoff justifies the runtime, because this AI consciousness angle and corporate conspiracy could honestly go either way, depending on the full writing quality. The atmosphere and presentation are obviously the main strengths here. If you're into cyberpunk settings and value style and world building, then this one might be close to a no-brainer for you. The combat seems competent but not revolutionary. Being on Game Pass from launch makes it easy to try, without much risk. And this sentence concludes today's video. If your time was respected, a like or comment is very much appreciated.